Ladies, let's pause for a moment and take a deep breath. This isn't about shutting your heart or losing your warmth. It's about reclaiming your power, your essence, and your self-worth. For too long, many of us have confused being kind and nurturing with overextending ourselves, especially in relationships. Let me tell you something. There's a difference between love and sacrifice, between care and self-abandonment. Your worth is intrinsic. It isn't something you earn through actions, relationships, or external achievements. It is a truth woven into the very fabric of your existence. Yet how often do we forget this? How often do we base our sense of self on how others treat us or how much we give, rather than on the unshakable reality that we are deserving of love and respect simply because we are alive? Knowing your worth is not an act of arrogance, it's an act of self-recognition, an honoring of the miracle that you are. When you truly know your worth, you stop seeking validation outside of yourself. Validation from others can feel good momentarily, but it's fleeting. People's opinions shift, circumstances change, and if your sense of worth is tied to external approval, you'll constantly find yourself trying to keep up, exhausting yourself in the process. But when your worth comes from within, it's unwavering. It doesn't rise or fall based on someone else's perception. You realize that you don't need to prove your value to anyone because it has always been there waiting for you to claim it. Society often teaches us that our value lies in what we can do for others, how accommodating we are, how much we achieve, or how perfectly we fit into the roles expected of us. For women especially, there's a persistent narrative that being nice, agreeable, and self-sacrificing is what makes us valuable. But this is a trap. It leads to overextending yourself, saying yes when you want to say no, and neglecting your own needs in the process. The truth is, your worth is not defined by how much you give, but by how much you honor yourself. When you know your worth, you no longer tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or half-hearted efforts from others. You stop accepting breadcrumbs when you deserve the whole loaf. This doesn't mean you become unkind or unforgiving. It means you set standards for how you will be treated. It means you understand that the way others treat you is a reflection of how they feel about themselves, not a reflection of your value. You no longer take things personally because you know who you are and what you deserve. One of the most powerful shifts that comes with knowing your worth is the realization that you are not responsible for fixing, saving, or proving yourself to anyone. Relationships should be about mutual support, not one-sided effort. If you find yourself constantly giving while receiving little in return, it's time to step back and ask, is this aligned with the value I place on myself? When you value yourself, you stop chasing people who don't see your worth, because you understand that the right people will recognize it without you having to convince them. Knowing your worth also means taking full responsibility for your happiness and well-being. It's about understanding that no one else can fill the void of self-neglect. You must be the one to nurture yourself, to care for your mind, body, and spirit. When you prioritize your own growth and healing, you become a magnet for the kind of relationships and opportunities that honor your value. This isn't selfish, it's self-respect. When you show the world how much you value yourself, others will follow suit. It's not always easy to step into your worth, especially if you've spent years doubting yourself or putting others before you. It can feel uncomfortable at first, like learning a new language. But with each small act of self-love, each boundary you set, and each time you choose yourself, you reinforce the belief that you are deserving. Start with affirmations: I am enough. I am worthy. I deserve love and respect. These simple words spoken daily can begin to shift your mindset and rewire the negative beliefs that have held you back. Remember, knowing your worth isn't about demanding perfection from yourself or others. It's about understanding that you are whole and complete, even with your flaws and imperfections. It's about embracing yourself fully, the light and the shadow, and recognizing that your value doesn't diminish because of mistakes or setbacks. You are allowed to be a work in progress and still be deserving of love and respect at every step of your journey. Ultimately, knowing your worth allows you to live with more peace, confidence, and joy. It frees you from the exhausting pursuit of approval and opens the door to authentic connections and experiences. You begin to see life not as something to endure, but as a gift to be cherished. And when you live from this place of self-worth, you not only transform your own life, but inspire others to recognize their own value as well. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful acts of self-respect, yet for many, it comes with an overwhelming sense of guilt. Perhaps you've been conditioned to believe that prioritizing your needs makes you selfish, or that saying no will disappoint others. But the truth is, boundaries are not a rejection of others, they are an affirmation of your own worth. They are a declaration that your time, energy, and emotions are valuable and deserve to be protected. The first step in setting boundaries is recognizing that they are not about controlling others, they are about defining how you will engage with the world. Boundaries communicate your needs and establish what is acceptable and unacceptable in your relationships. They are not meant to hurt others, but to ensure that you can show up fully in your life without being drained or diminished. By setting boundaries, you teach people how to treat you, and you create the space necessary for your well-being to flourish. For many, the guilt that arises when setting boundaries stems from a fear of disappointing others or being perceived as unkind. This guilt often has its roots in a desire to be liked or accepted, which is a natural human inclination. However, constantly putting others' needs before your own at the expense of your well-being is not sustainable. It leads to resentment, exhaustion, and a loss of self-respect. When you say yes to things that don't serve you, you are effectively saying no to yourself. It's important to understand that boundaries are not about being harsh or rigid, they are about being honest. When you communicate your limits clearly and respectfully, you are not only honoring yourself, but also giving others the opportunity to engage with you in a healthier, more authentic way. Boundaries strengthen relationships because they prevent misunderstandings and foster mutual respect. The people who truly value you will respect your boundaries even if they don't fully understand them. One of the keys to setting boundaries without guilt is shifting your mindset. Instead of viewing boundaries as selfish, see them as an essential part of self-care. Just as you wouldn't hesitate to lock your doors at night to protect your home, you shouldn't hesitate to protect your emotional and mental space. Boundaries are an act of love, not only for yourself, but also for those around you. When you take care of yourself, you can show up more fully and authentically in your relationships. The process of setting boundaries starts with self-awareness. Take time to reflect on what drains your energy, what makes you feel uncomfortable, and where you feel stretched too thin. These are often areas where boundaries are needed. For example, if you find yourself constantly saying yes to work requests that leave you feeling overwhelmed, it may be time to communicate your limits. If a friend's behavior is consistently crossing the line, it's an opportunity to express your feelings and set a boundary. When setting boundaries, be clear and specific. Instead of vague statements like "I need more space," say something like "I need time to myself on weekends to recharge." Communicate your boundaries calmly and assertively without apologizing for them. Remember, you are not responsible for how others react to your boundaries. Some people may push back or feel uncomfortable, especially if they've benefited from you not having boundaries in the past. That discomfort is not yours to carry. It's also important to practice consistency. If you set a boundary but fail to enforce it, others will not take it seriously. For example, if you tell someone you're unavailable after a certain time but continue to respond to their messages, you're sending mixed signals. Enforcing your boundaries might feel uncomfortable at first, but over time it becomes a natural part of your interactions. Another critical aspect of setting boundaries without guilt is learning to let go of the need to please everyone. No matter how kind or accommodating you are, there will always be someone who disagrees with your choices. That's okay. Your job is not to make everyone happy. Your job is to honor your own needs and values. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And by setting boundaries, you ensure that you have the energy and capacity to give to others in a meaningful way. Finally, be compassionate with yourself throughout this process. If you spent years neglecting your own needs or feeling guilty for asserting yourself, setting boundaries may feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable. That's normal. Change takes time, and every small step you take is a victory. Celebrate your progress and remind yourself that you are deserving of the same kindness and respect that you extend to others. In the end, setting boundaries is not about building walls. It's about creating pathways to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. It's about saying, I value myself enough to protect my energy, and I trust that the right people will respect that. Let go of the guilt and embrace the freedom that comes with living in alignment with your true self. You deserve nothing less. Focusing on your growth is one of the most empowering choices you can make. It is a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself, not for anyone else, but for your own fulfillment and joy. Growth is not about perfection, it's about progress, about continuously learning, evolving, and becoming more aligned with your true potential. When you choose to focus on your growth, you take control of your life, shifting from a place of stagnation to one of endless possibility. Personal growth begins with self-awareness. To grow, you must first understand where you are and where you want to be. This requires an honest look at your strengths, weaknesses, habits, and beliefs. It can be uncomfortable to face the areas where you've been holding yourself back, but this self-reflection is the foundation for transformation. Growth is not about judgment or self-criticism. It's about awareness and the desire to improve. Once you become aware of what's holding you back, the next step is to take action. Growth doesn't happen by accident, it's intentional. You must be willing to step out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself. This could mean pursuing a new skill, setting ambitious goals, or changing habits that no longer serve you. It might involve making difficult decisions like walking away from relationships or environments that hinder your progress. Growth often requires discomfort, but the rewards are worth it. Focusing on your growth also means prioritizing your own needs and well-being. Too often, people put their personal development on hold to meet the expectations of others. They become so focused on pleasing everyone else that they neglect their own dreams and aspirations. But growth is not selfish, it's necessary. When you invest in yourself, you not only improve your own life, but also inspire and uplift those around you. You become a source of light and motivation, showing others what's possible when you commit to your own evolution. A crucial aspect of growth is adopting a mindset of curiosity and lifelong learning. The world is full of opportunities to expand your knowledge, skills, and perspective. Growth doesn't stop when you achieve a certain goal or reach a milestone. It's an ongoing journey. Embrace challenges as opportunities to learn and failures as stepping stones to success. Every experience, whether positive or negative, holds a lesson that can contribute to your growth. Another key element of focusing on your growth is surrounding yourself with the right people. The energy and attitudes of those around you have a profound impact on your mindset and progress. Seek out individuals who inspire, support, and challenge you to be your best. Limit your time with those who drain your energy or discourage your efforts. Your growth is too important to be influenced by negativity or doubt. Equally important is learning to celebrate your progress. Growth is not about the destination, it's about the journey. Take time to acknowledge and appreciate the strides you've made, no matter how small. Each step forward is a testament to your resilience and determination. By celebrating your progress, you cultivate a sense of gratitude and motivation to keep moving forward. Focusing on your growth also involves letting go of comparison. It's easy to look at others and feel inadequate or envious, but everyone's journey is different. What matters is not how you measure up to someone else, but how far you've come from where you started. Growth is deeply personal, and your path will not look like anyone else's. Honor your unique journey and trust that you are exactly where you're meant to be. Self-compassion is another essential component of growth. You will make mistakes along the way, and that's okay. Growth is not a straight line. It's a series of ups and downs, successes and setbacks. Be gentle with yourself in moments of struggle and remind yourself that growth is a process. Every stumble is an opportunity to learn and strengthen your resolve. When you focus on your growth, you align yourself with your true potential. You begin to see life not as something to be endured, but as something to be explored and embraced. You realize that you are not limited by your past or your circumstances. You are capable of creating a life that reflects your deepest desires and aspirations. Growth is the key to unlocking your fullest self, and it starts with a single decision to choose yourself. In the end, focusing on your growth is the greatest gift you can give yourself. It's a declaration that you are worthy of the time, effort, and care it takes to become your best self. It's a reminder that you are capable of more than you ever imagined, and that the only limits are the ones you place on yourself. Choose growth and watch your life transform in ways you never thought possible. The desire to please others is deeply ingrained in many of us. We want to be liked, accepted, and appreciated, so we often go out of our way to meet expectations, avoid conflict, and maintain harmony. But there comes a point when pleasing others begins to feel like a burden, a weight that drains your energy and leaves you feeling unseen, unfulfilled, and disconnected from your true self. When you live to please, you give away your power, allowing others to define your worth and dictate your path. It's time to stop pleasing and start inspiring, a shift that not only frees you but also uplifts those around you. To stop pleasing others, you must first recognize why you feel compelled to do so. For many, the need to please stems from fear of rejection, criticism, or disappointing others. It might also come from a desire for validation, believing that your value is tied to how much you can give or how agreeable you can be. But the truth is, no amount of people pleasing will make everyone happy. And even if it does, it often comes at the cost of your own happiness and authenticity. The act of pleasing is rooted in external validation, while inspiration comes from within. When you shift your focus from trying to gain approval to living authentically, you begin to lead by example. Instead of seeking acceptance, you create a life that reflects your values, passions, and purpose. People are drawn to authenticity because it's rare and powerful. When you live as your truest self, you don't just fulfill your own potential, you also encourage others to do the same. Inspiration starts with clarity. To inspire others, you need to know who you are and what you stand for. Take time to reflect on your values, goals, and dreams. What lights you up? What makes you feel alive? When you align your actions with your inner truth, you naturally radiate confidence and purpose. This alignment doesn't just benefit you, it becomes a source of light for others, showing them what's possible when you choose authenticity over approval. To stop pleasing, you must also learn to set boundaries. People pleasers often struggle to say no, fearing that it will make them seem selfish or unkind. But boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about protecting your energy and prioritizing what matters most to you. When you set boundaries, you teach others how to respect your time, energy, and values. This isn't selfish, it's essential for your growth and well-being. And when others see you honoring your boundaries, they feel empowered to do the same in their own lives. One of the most powerful ways to inspire others is to embrace your imperfections. People pleasers often strive for perfection, believing that it will earn them love and admiration. But perfection is an illusion, and striving for it only leads to stress and disconnection. When you accept and embrace your flaws, you give others permission to do the same. You show them that it's okay to be human, to make mistakes, and to grow through challenges. Authenticity is far more inspiring than perfection ever could be. Inspiring others also means leading with courage. Pleasing often involves playing it safe, avoiding risks, and staying within the confines of what's expected. But inspiration comes from boldness, from daring to step outside your comfort zone and pursue your passions, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. When you take risks and follow your dreams, you show others that they too can overcome fear and embrace their potential. Another key to inspiration is focusing on contribution rather than compliance. People-pleasing often revolves around meeting others' expectations, but inspiring others comes from contributing something meaningful. This doesn't mean you have to do grand, world-changing things. It can be as simple as sharing your story, offering support, or creating something that adds value to others' lives. When you focus on making a positive impact rather than gaining approval, you naturally inspire those around you. It's also important to let go of the need to control how others perceive you. No matter how much you try to please, there will always be someone who disagrees, criticizes, or misunderstands you. And that's okay. Your worth is not determined by others' opinions, it's defined by how true you are to yourself. When you stop seeking validation and start living authentically, you attract the right people into your life, those who appreciate and respect you for who you truly are. To transition from pleasing to inspiring, practice self-compassion. Breaking free from the habit of pleasing isn't always easy, especially if it's something you've done for most of your life. You might feel guilt or worry that you're letting others down. Be kind to yourself during this process and remind yourself that your worth isn't tied to how much you do for others. By prioritizing your authenticity and well-being, you're not only improving your own life, but also setting a powerful example for those around you. In the end, stopping the cycle of pleasing isn't about abandoning kindness or care for others. It's about shifting your focus from trying to make everyone happy to living a life that inspires. By embracing your authenticity, setting boundaries, and leading with courage, you become a beacon of light, not because you're trying to please others, but because you're showing them the power of being true to oneself. And that is the most inspiring gift you can offer. Self-love is the foundation of a fulfilling and meaningful life. It is the practice of accepting yourself fully, appreciating your worth, and prioritizing your well-being without guilt. While society often emphasizes the importance of caring for others, it's equally vital to care for yourself first. Practicing self-love is not selfish, it's necessary. When you love yourself, you create a life that feels authentic, joyful, and aligned with your true desires. More importantly, you become better equipped to share that love and positivity with the world. Practicing self-love begins with self-awareness. You need to understand who you are at your core, beyond the roles you play or the expectations others have of you. Take time to explore your thoughts, emotions, and needs. What makes you happy? What drains your energy? By understanding yourself, you can make choices that align with your true self, rather than living according to what others want or expect. Self-awareness is the gateway to self-love because it allows you to honor your authenticity. One of the most important aspects of self-love is self-acceptance. It's about embracing who you are right now, imperfections and all. Many people fall into the trap of believing they need to achieve certain goals, look a certain way, or gain approval from others before they can feel worthy of love. But self-love isn't about waiting until you're perfect. It's about recognizing that you are already enough, just as you are. By accepting your flaws and celebrating your strengths, you release the need for external validation and start valuing yourself from within. Boundaries are another essential part of self-love. Loving yourself means protecting your energy and prioritizing your needs. This can be challenging, especially if you've been conditioned to put others' needs ahead of your own. But saying no to what doesn't serve you is an act of love. It allows you to create space for the things that truly matter: your health, happiness, and growth. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about preserving the balance that allows you to thrive. Self-love also involves nurturing your body, mind, and soul. Your physical, emotional, and mental well-being are interconnected, and caring for one area positively impacts the others. This could mean eating nourishing foods, exercising regularly, and getting enough rest. It could also involve practices like journaling, meditation, or therapy to process emotions and cultivate a sense of inner peace. When you treat yourself with kindness and care, you send a powerful message to yourself: I am worthy of love and attention. Another crucial aspect of self-love is letting go of negative self-talk. Many people are their own harshest critics, replaying thoughts that diminish their confidence and self-worth. Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself. Would you talk to a loved one the same way? If not, it's time to reframe those thoughts. Replace criticism with compassion and remind yourself that you're doing your best. By cultivating a positive inner dialogue, you build a mindset that supports your growth and self-esteem. Practicing self-love also means celebrating your accomplishments, no matter how small. It's easy to focus on what you haven't done or where you feel you've fallen short, but self-love invites you to acknowledge your wins. Take time to appreciate your efforts and progress. Celebrate the milestones you achieve, even if they seem minor. Recognizing your successes reinforces your belief in your abilities and motivates you to keep moving forward. Letting go of toxic relationships is another act of self-love. Surround yourself with people who uplift, support, and respect you. If someone consistently drains your energy, undermines your confidence, or disregards your boundaries, it's okay to step back. Your relationships should nurture your growth, not hinder it. Loving yourself means prioritizing connections that align with your values and contribute to your well-being. Self-love is also about forgiving yourself for past mistakes. No one is perfect, and everyone has moments they wish they could change. Holding on to guilt or regret only weighs you down. Instead, view your mistakes as opportunities for growth. Forgive yourself and use those experiences as lessons to guide your future choices. By letting go of the past, you free yourself to fully embrace the present and create a better tomorrow. Perhaps most importantly, self-love is an ongoing practice. It's not a destination, but a journey that requires consistent effort and intention. There will be days when loving yourself feels easy and days when it feels like a struggle. That's okay. What matters is your commitment to showing up for yourself, even on the hard days. Treat self-love as a daily ritual, a practice of honoring your worth and nurturing your well-being. When you practice self-love first, you transform the way you experience life. You stop seeking approval from others and start valuing your own opinions and desires. You become more resilient, more confident, and more at peace. And as you fill your own cup, you naturally have more to give to others. By loving yourself, you create a ripple effect that inspires those around you to do the same. Self-love is not just a gift to yourself, it's a gift to the world. Actions carry a profound weight that words alone often cannot match. While words can inspire comfort or make promises, it is actions that reveal the truth of one's intentions, character, and commitment. Living by the principle of letting actions speak louder than words creates a life of authenticity, impact, and respect. It is a powerful way to communicate who you are and what you stand for without the need for excessive explanation or justification. Too often, words are used as placeholders for intentions rather than a reflection of tangible follow-through. Promises are made, declarations are spoken, and plans are discussed, but without action, these words lose their meaning. When actions align with what is spoken, however, they become a force of credibility and trust. People are drawn to those who act on their values and keep their word because it signals reliability and integrity. It shows that they are not only talkers but doers, individuals who turn thoughts into reality. Living in alignment with your actions requires clarity about your intentions and priorities. It begins with knowing what truly matters to you and what kind of life you want to create. When you are clear about your goals and values, it becomes easier to take purposeful steps that align with them. This alignment creates a sense of inner peace because you no longer feel the need to over-explain yourself to others. Instead, you let the results of your actions demonstrate your commitment and drive. One of the most significant benefits of prioritizing actions over words is the influence it has on others. People pay attention to what you do far more than what you say. For example, if you tell someone that you value honesty but consistently behave dishonestly, your actions will undermine your words. On the other hand, when you consistently demonstrate your values through your behavior, you inspire others to do the same. By letting your actions speak for you, you create a ripple effect that encourages those around you to act with integrity and purpose. In moments of conflict or uncertainty, actions are particularly powerful. Words can escalate a situation or be misinterpreted, but thoughtful actions can convey understanding, compassion, and a willingness to resolve issues. For example, in relationships, it is not enough to say, "I love you," if your actions do not reflect care, respect, and consideration. Small gestures like actively listening, showing up, and supporting someone in times of need speak volumes about your feelings and commitment. Taking action also requires courage, especially when faced with challenges or criticism. It's easy to make bold statements about what you intend to do, but following through demands resilience and perseverance. When you take action despite fear, doubt, or opposition, you prove to yourself and others that you are willing to put in the effort required to achieve your goals. This courage becomes a defining part of your character, showing that you are not someone who gives up when things get tough. Another important aspect of letting actions speak louder than words is consistency. One grand gesture may capture attention, but consistent, meaningful actions build lasting trust and respect. For instance, in a professional setting, delivering results over time demonstrates competence and dedication far more effectively than boasting about your skills. In personal relationships, showing up consistently for your loved ones builds bonds that words alone cannot create. Consistency in action shows that your commitments are not fleeting but are rooted in genuine effort and care. Focusing on actions rather than words also encourages personal accountability. When you are intentional about your behavior, you take responsibility for your impact on others and the world around you. It's not about perfection, but about striving to align your actions with your principles, even when it's difficult. This accountability builds self-respect as you learn to trust yourself to follow through on your intentions. Living by this principle also reduces the pressure to prove yourself to others through words. Instead of trying to convince people of your worth, intentions, or abilities, you focus on demonstrating them through your actions. This approach not only saves energy, but also fosters a sense of self-confidence. You no longer need to seek validation through empty promises or excessive explanations because your actions speak for themselves. Moreover, letting actions speak louder than words fosters authenticity. Words can sometimes be used to mask insecurities or project an image that doesn't align with reality. Actions, however, reveal the truth. When you act in alignment with your genuine self, you build relationships and opportunities that are based on honesty and mutual understanding. Authenticity is magnetic. It draws the right people and experiences into your life. In a world where talk is often cheap and promises are easily broken, actions remain a powerful way to stand out. They show dedication, sincerity, and a willingness to do the work necessary to create meaningful change. Whether it's pursuing a goal, showing love to a friend, or making a difference in your community, actions make your intentions tangible and impactful. By letting actions speak louder than words, you create a legacy of trust, influence, and authenticity. You show others what you value through what you do, not just what you say. And in the process, you build a life that reflects your true self, one where your impact is undeniable and your intentions are unmistakably clear.